Welcome to Career Uprising. I'm your host and professional career coach, Lorraine Rise. Join me as I guide you through an amazing journey of self-discovery and empowerment. If you are looking for work, changing careers, or stuck in a toxic job, then this is the show for you. I offer both practical and spiritual guidance to help you up-level and advance your career. Let's start the uprising. Hey everyone, you are listening to episode 108, Get Hired Over 50. Hey everyone, how are you doing? How's your November going so far? And yes, you heard me right. I'm talking about getting hired over 50. And I'm not talking about at Burger King or a greeter at Walmart. I'm talking about getting the job that you really want in your field when you're over 50 or even 60, like so many of my clients are. And I know that this is possible because, like I said, I work almost exclusively with mid and late career professionals. So if you are gray-haired, you are in my tribe. Those are some of my favorite people to serve. All right. So many of my clients get jobs that are over 50 or close to it. Hey, if you're knocking on the door, you're in my tribe too. It's not just a number. It's a mindset a little bit. It's a career stage, but I want you to know that you can do it. That's going to be my message today. I'm going to give some tips about how you can do it. I'm going to walk you through some strategies for how you, as a late career job seeker, can land the position that you want. This will be a good episode. And you can do it now, even in the pandemic. So, oh my goodness, 2021 is almost over. I think that's a good thing. I don't know. It all depends on your perspective, right? This year has gone by so fast. And I think that's okay, right? Onward to the future. I'm sure 2021 has been a pretty shitty year for a lot of people. It's been tough for me in some ways, but it's not in some others. I'm so blessed. I know that. But there have been a lot of heavy things on my mind this year, for sure. And with all of that shitty stuff too, just so you know, comes the good stuff, the growth, the opportunities, the new perspective, right? And if you're not getting those things out of these last few years, then you're not paying attention. Then it's time to wake up because there's a lot of good things happening in the bigger picture of the world. If you look past the news headlines and all of the temporary pain that we're going through, this is all for something. I really, really believe that. Every single one of us should come out of these last 2 years or so, or 18 months, a stronger, better person. And if you're not, then it's a missed opportunity because there is always growth and beauty in pain. All right. But where are your career goals? What have you accomplished in 2021? Is it what you wanted it to be? If not, consider working with me going into 2022. I am revamping my programs a little bit. I have added a fabulous new resume service that actually gets your resume out in front of hundreds, if not thousands of recruiters. I'm really, really excited about offering this new service. It is brand new this month in November. So contact me if you want coaching or if you want help getting your resume in front of recruiters in your field. But I'm someone who's changed careers twice, and I am literally in my dream job. And I've helped so many clients, hundreds and hundreds of them, to do the same thing. And like I said, many of them are old. But my life's work is connecting people to their life's work. And I'm blessed to do it every day. And I want to pass it on to you. So consider working with me to get help. But if not, I hope this show and all the shows I have in the archives will help you. Because if you were to put this advice into action just from this free podcast, it could change everything. There's so much meat to these shows. I've done over 100 of them now. And so don't wait because I get pretty busy when January comes. All right, let's dive in, guys. Let's talk about how to get hired over 50. So the first thing I want you to get straight for at any age, but especially if you are over 50, is your mindset. Many people I speak to are worried that their experience is going to be a liability rather than an asset. And especially if they're interviewing with a younger interviewer, because I hear that a lot. Oh, the person interviewing me was 30. They could have been my son. Okay, what are we going to do about it, right? At the end of the day, there's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't matter. We're going to interview and be you anyway, all right? But you're going to have to believe it yourself that your experience is a strength and an asset if they are ever going to believe it. You need to get rid of every shred of self-doubt that you have that says that you don't deserve the job or they're not going to hire you because you're too old. Stop that. I'm slapping your wrist right now through the microphone, okay? Stop that. I can tell you that mindset is holding you back. So basically, what I'm asking you to do is stop expecting there to be an age bias. Yes, there is one. I'm not saying that there isn't, but I'm saying don't go in constantly expecting it because we sometimes create it where it doesn't exist. And I know that may sound disingenuous coming from someone who's 37, but let me tell you, it's true. And you can apply it to anything. I could apply it to the gender bias or anything. Okay. Yes, there is an age bias out there, but you cannot go around expecting it to be there all the time because it won't always be there. It could be something else. And it's very difficult to prove as well. But I know this because I work with people who tell me all the time, oh, I'm being discriminated against. It's because I'm old. That's why they didn't hire me. And they have no proof. They don't know that. They're assuming it. And if that's the case, it's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. All right. I want you to feel good about your experience and present it confidently and specifically point out why your 20 or 30 years of experience is an advantage and why they can still afford you. Because it usually just comes down to money. But beyond that, you can't just go around diminishing yourself and thinking that no one's going to hire you because you're too old. If you believe that, then that is what you will find. All right. Plus, I think you need to remember that if a company is going to discriminate against you, you don't want to work for them. Okay. Obviously, they don't have a great culture or they're not very good at interviewing or something. So keep on keeping on. Get rid of any limiting beliefs that you have, that there's not enough jobs out there, not enough companies that will hire you. I've seen too many clients of mine be successful to believe that that is true. Yes, it may be a little harder, and yes, it may take a little longer, but it is achievable. Phew, okay, I'm glad we got that out of the way. Mindset is always the first thing that we have to address. We just have to. That is the number one thing I think that I have to coach clients on of all ages. There's a lack of confidence. There's limiting self-beliefs of some kind, and we have to clean that out before we can move forward. You are going to find whatever you expect in your job search. So if you think there's not enough jobs, if you think that you're too old, if you think that a younger interviewer is going to be biased against you, that is probably what's going to happen, or you're at least going to think that that is what is going to happen. And then you're just going to get discouraged. And then you're not going to decrease the level of activity in your job search because you're discouraged. And it's just this cycle that we're in. I want you to approach your job search and your career as a whole from an empowered standpoint that says, my experience is valuable and here's why. I know you might be worried about, not being able to afford me, but here's why that's not a concern. I'm willing to negotiate. There are ways that I can coach you through a salary negotiation if it's really just about money, okay? I really believe, though, that no matter how old you are, if you can demonstrate that you can solve that company's problems, they will hire you. Your age won't matter, all right? Okay, enough of the mindset lecture. So, let's take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to get into really the meat of the show. I've got 3 specific strategies that I'm going to share that will be very relevant for the older job seeker. So we are just warming up here, guys, okay? Stay tuned. Hey, everyone. While the show takes a quick break, I want to tell you about 2 ways that you can get help in your career for free. First, you can sign up for my mailing list and be a part of my community. I offer in-depth resources and solutions for your career problems. I have a free gift waiting for you when you sign up. Head over to careeruprising.com/signup and join my community today. Then join my LinkedIn group called Career Uprising Premium Online Community. It's growing every day, and you can interact with me and ask questions about your own situation. Just open up LinkedIn now and search for Career Uprising Premium Online Community. And I can't wait to connect with you. Let's get back to the show. All right, guys, here we go. Here are 3 quick and dirty tips that are going to be very specific to help you land an amazing job, even if you have gray hair. All right, number 1, leverage your network. This is true in every job search, but it is especially true for the older generation. And here's the secret. You, as an older job seeker, are almost guaranteed to have a larger network than younger job seekers. This is an incredible advantage. You've been on the planet longer. You know more people. And the older generation is typically, I think, of the mind of having higher quality long-term relationships. I'm probably going to get, chewed out by somebody for some millennial somewhere for saying that. And I'm making a generalization here. But I have worked with both generations and multiple generations, and I can tell you there is a difference, okay? But mostly it's the fact that you have been alive and been around longer and you have more long-term relationships, okay? In my opinion, I just think the younger generation probably does know a lot of people. Sometimes they can be more superficial relationships, through social media and things like that. Don't hate me for saying that, guys, okay? But I'm just saying, in general, it takes really good, genuine relationships to be able to leverage appropriately in a job search and get results, all right? And a lot of younger people really just haven't had the time to cultivate them the way that older people had. And older people didn't have the internet, right? They didn't have social media. So old-fashioned communication is all they know. We're really all just a product of our times. It's not necessarily a slight to any one group of people. It's just that we're a product of the technology and the culture that we are brought up in. And the younger generation is brought up with social media, so that's how they know to build relationships, okay? But you, as, a baby boomer or, whatever generate Gen X, you probably have a larger network that you've been building for a long time. Use this to your advantage and don't be shy about talking to people that you know and letting them know that you are in a job search. So there is one very, very specific and effective method that I teach to my coaching clients that they go crazy over, and I'm not exaggerating. People love this, and it helps them to have more comfortable, natural, authentic conversations with their network. I'm not going to share it with you. Sorry. You're going to have to coach with me if you want. I'm not going to give my really, really good stuff away for free. You're going to have to be a client if you want me to teach you this strategy. But I teach it to all my clients. They go crazy over it. It really, really helps people to structure their networking conversations in a really authentic and comfortable way. I wish I had known it years ago. So if you are struggling with networking at any age, you need to coach with me because I will teach you how to get good results with this, okay? But my point is you have a great network. That is an advantage that as an older job seeker. Don't let it go to waste, okay? All right, number 2. You need to have a modern presentation online and on paper. If you're going to combat that crappy stereotype out there that older job seekers are antiquated or out of touch, you're going to need to make sure that you are up to date on what resumes and LinkedIn profiles look like these days. And there are big differences between those two. I don't write resumes the same way that I write LinkedIn profiles. And again, I would encourage you to get help with this, whether it's from me or even just, maybe somebody younger in your network. Get help with this if you're not sure what it should look like and sound like. But I can tell you too, if you're using one of those old resume templates from 1995, I will be able to tell. I'm going to say 1995 called and they want their resume back. Okay. And that it does matter, that first impression. Personally, I like to put just a splash of color, usually blue, in my resumes. It just gives it a nice modern touch and it's nice and appealing. All right. And also keep your resume brief. I don't ever go over 2 pages, even if you're in your 50s and 60s. The only time I would write anything longer is if you need, a traditional CV for medical school or publications, you have your doctorate, academia, something like that. Those people may have a longer resume, but everybody else needs to cut it down to 2 pages. All right. I also have a lot of specific strategies around that. And so do my writers. I have a wonderful team of writers who are so good at what they do. And we have ways to pull out older accomplishments and highlight them at the top of the resume without the dates. So it's not emphasizing how old you are. Okay. There are ways to do this, people. All right. And third and last, your skills need to be fresh, especially with technology. If you don't feel comfortable doing Zoom interviews, texting, or using social media, you need to get help with that. That is crucial for the modern job search. There are courses you can take through LinkedIn Learning that are free if you already have the LinkedIn Premium. You could work with a coach like myself or get help from somebody else that you know. But it's really important that you have a modern presentation and feel comfortable with modern interviewing techniques. And let me tell you, interviews are changing. I'm seeing pre-recorded video interviews now being done without even having a person on the other end. You just have to record your answer to the question into the computer. Crazy. That was unheard of even just a couple of years ago, maybe 10 years ago when I was job searching. Things are changing so fast. There's a lot to stay up to date with. So if you feel that your computer skills or any other technology skills are lacking, you want to make that a priority so you can bust that stereotype. I work with a lot of older job seekers too that are very eager to learn, and they're not at all resistant to technology. I think that is very much a cliche or a stereotype out there because I see many older people who want to keep working and still have a lot of energy, and they're very eager to learn and very adaptable. So I think we need to reject that notion that older people are stubborn or unwilling to learn. I think that's crap. I don't think it's true at all. I think that the world is just rapidly changing and we all got to keep up with it. Okay. All right. I hope those 3 strategies helped you. There is probably a wealth of information I could go into even more. There's other shows that I've done as well. There was one I did a year or 2 ago called The Late Career Job Search with Bill Maher. He was a client of mine. Fabulous, one of my best clients ever. I still keep in touch with him. He has a great story, and he shares his experiences all about being a late career job seeker, an oldie but a goodie. So I have covered this topic before. But anyway, I'm going to wrap it up for today. I hope this message helped you. Please rate and review this show. It would mean so much to me. It literally takes a second to do. Even writing a review takes 1 minute. If you have an Apple account, I would very much appreciate it because it really, really helps the show. So you can learn more about me at careeruprising.com or connect with me on LinkedIn. And I hope this helped you. And we'll talk soon. And I'll have a few more shows out in December. And then we'll wrap it up for the year. All right. Take care, guys. That's it for today's show. Thank you so much for listening. If you like what you heard today, please consider giving the show a positive review on iTunes. It would mean a lot to me, and it would help to spread the word so that others can learn about the show. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to connect with you again next time on Career Uprising.
This show is brought to you by InflowRadio.com, the best curated talk radio network for personal development, wellness, spirituality, and conscious business.